Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and it's time for a video on the topic of price. And this headline certainly caught my attention. It comes from the Daily Hodl, and it is as follows. Analyst says XRP set to surprise traders. Predicts fourth largest crypto asset could outperform Bitcoin in 2021. Well, that won't surprise me in the least. So, look, I want to be clear. I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. But I am willing to talk about this just for the fun of it as an enthusiast. But that is all that it is. It's fun to talk about it and make some YouTube videos. I think if you can fast forward past this next market cycle, I'm not going to pretend to know what the timeline is for that, but if you could do that, all the people that are saying that, XRP's done for, or even the people that just say, oh yeah, there's never going to be an alt season ever again. That was a failed experiment. Look what happened in 2017. That's never going to happen again. I think all the people that say anything along those lines are going to look very silly after this next market cycle is complete. Because to me, it seems obvious, even for somebody like me who doesn't have a financial background and is not interested at all in learning how to read charts. I'm really more so interested in fundamentals and real-world adoption. But even someone like me, and even if you fall in that category too, where like you're not interested in knowing how to read charts, if you have eyeballs, you can see that XRP, absolutely, just look over the entire existence of Bitcoin and XRP where they overlap. In a general sense, it really is just following. And that also explains why the news doesn't freaking matter at all. Why do you think that positive news surrounding XRP doesn't seem to matter in any sort of notable way? It's because people don't care. They're just throwing money back and forth between alts and Bitcoin. So there we are. But before we go any further, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. And if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, well, you done came to the right spot, son. Go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel to take my free content, damn it. The price is right. As I record this, XRP is at 25 cents. Bitcoin is at $15,359. Market cap for the asset class $440 billion, and Bitcoin dominance at 64.58%. And so I'll just share with you, like on the topic of XRP outperforming Bitcoin over the next cycle. To me, that seems like a virtual certainty. And again, I'm just sharing my everyday Joe Schmo opinion, but I do firmly believe that. And it's not hard to understand why, unless you really think that XRP is just not going to participate in the next alt season, or if there's not going to be an alt season. But holy hell, that's kind of ridiculous to me. And if you want to think of, because again, look, I don't think that fundamentals sufficiently matter today. I think they will more so in the future. So just consider this. If you're wondering why I feel that way, well, here's a very basic but important reason. Look at market cap, right? Look at how much money has flown into Bitcoin. So you've got Bitcoin with a market cap of $284 billion. How much money has to flow in for Bitcoin's price to double? Now take a look at XRP. $11.332 billion market cap. Infinitely smaller, right? It is figuratively infinitely smaller. And so how much money has to flow into XRP to get its market cap to double? Not nearly as much, because even if you had double it, it would still only have about a $22.6 billion multiplier cap. And again, Bitcoin is at $284 billion as I record this. And so in terms of the opportunity for it's the multiplier effect, just the opportunity for asymmetrical gains, it's a real thing here. And historically, we've certainly seen that to be the case in crypto, which is part of why it's so exciting to me to be an XRP holder. So in terms of percentage gains, I have every confidence in the world that by the time this next market cycle has completed, XRP will have outperformed Bitcoin. And I'm sure they'll both retrace tremendously. And still, every time that happens, though, historically, there have always been higher lows. So still ultimately heading in the right direction. But yeah, I suspect there's going to be another massive bubble created. We're not in a crypto bubble right now, but I believe we will be again in the future. And I believe it will pop, and then you'll have some more major retracements. And so what? That's perfectly fine. There are bubbles in every single asset class on the planet. You can think about even precious metals like gold. You can talk about real estate. You can talk about the stock market. They all experience bubbles. It's just part of humans' price, engaging in price discovery within markets, and it's so emotionally driven. It's kind of silly, which is why I don't participate in that stuff. I'm just a long-term type of guy, and I recognize humans will continue to do this with every single asset class. But there's some huge reasons as to why I could not be more excited as an XRP holder. And in 2021, if we see the fireworks, super duper. So let's jump into this piece, which again is titled "Analyst says XRP set to surprise traders, predicts fourth largest crypto asset could outperform Bitcoin in 2021." And if it does, won't surprise me. Not in the least, especially, well, if that's the year that we see the, excuse me. I think I'm going to take a sip of water. One sec. Sorry about that. Okay. I think I can move forward now. I'm so sorry, guys. I do all these videos in one take, though, so, like, there we are. But yeah, so it really, to me, it just comes down to, like, when is the fun parabolic action for both Bitcoin and XRP? Like, when will those fun activities occur? And if it's in 2021, then yeah, I believe that XRP will outperform Bitcoin in 2021. But anyway, jumping in now, alternative investment analyst Timothy Peterson says he believes XRP is gearing up for a long-awaited breakout that could see the fourth largest crypto asset outperforming Bitcoin. In a series of tweets, Peterson says the lowest price forward, or LPF for short, metric suggests XRP is near an inflection point. The analyst calculates LPF by marking the last time an asset was at a price that it appears highly unlikely to return and mapping its trajectory on a log scale to determine when the next breakout may happen. And here's the quote. "I think people will be surprised at XRP's performance in 2021. It will probably have its best year since 2017 and maybe outperform Bitcoin. Although lowest price forward is strictly a price trend, I validated this trend with fundamental metrics from Coin Metrics." And you can see there's a chart that he has associated with this on the screen right there. So as for Bitcoin, Peterson says the leading cryptocurrency is unlikely to break through $20,000 this year. However, he believes there's a 90% chance Bitcoin will break through its all-time high in 2021. And look, pretty much all analysts that I'm following at this point, whether they think it's going to happen fourth quarter 2020 or at some point even in 2021, they're not that far off from what they like almost all of them are saying. I mean, I don't know. I can't find analysts that think that something isn't going to happen of significant importance in terms of price action in 2021 or by the end of 2020. Like, I can't even find that. Seriously, there's those types of analysts that think it's going to be more like 2 or 3 years out to see some fireworks. I'm sure some of them exist, but it's just, these are not opinions that they tend to hold. Certainly none of the ones that I'm following anyway. But Peterson's XRP prediction is in stark contrast to a recent analysis from commodities trader Peter Brandt, and I covered this too. Brandt says he thinks XRP has shown it's one of the weakest assets on the market, and it won't be long before its retracement from an all-time high of 0.000229 against Bitcoin continues. And so it's just a bunch of silliness. And really, that article, that's when we were talking about, the XRP BTC pair. And obviously, yeah, I mean, as Bitcoin's gone up and XRP, along with other alts, it actually been bleeding out a little bit as Bitcoin's gone on its greatest rally since the end of 2017. Like, it's not surprising money flew out of alts and into Bitcoin at the time. And so that resulted in there being an even bigger gap in the XRP BTC pair. But I'll tell you what, the last time this happened was December of 2017. And when that happened, holy hell, XRP just freaking took off on its greatest parabolic price run in history. And we actually just got back down to that level if you look at the XRP BTC pair. So I don't care. Like, to me, this is not bad. I love that people disagree with me. And they probably disagree with you. Like, you're listening to this, we're probably like one and the same effectively. Like, we both believe in the long-term viability and price action of XRP, I'm guessing, because it's an XRP-centric channel. But outside of like people like you and me, I love that there are a ton of people that don't feel that way. Because if it were so obvious that XRP is the winner effectively, well, then the price action would have already gone through the roof. So the time to invest in something like this is before everybody else sees it. Like if we're right and we really what we believe we see is true, then that is what makes this exciting, because that's what will make it worth substantially more than it is in future. Just like the time to buy FANG stocks, so it'd be Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. The time to buy those was like a decade ago. And so, I mean, would it have been better back then? Which would have resulted in ridiculous gains, in terms of the stock market. Still nowhere near crypto gains. But, for the stock market, it would have been outrageous over the last decade. It has been. It would have been better to do that or purchase them now that everybody already agrees that they're here to stay. Because think about how much money has to flow into those stocks. And I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just acknowledging how much money's already in. Think about how much money would have to flow in to get those to double. Right? And so this is much more exciting, and I do feel like I found an illiquid asset that barely has any money in it, that has, in my humble opinion, my unprofessional opinion, a good chance of truly becoming a standard, as it's certainly, as far as Ripple positioning it as a bridge currency, because it's actually getting adopted, and I know because I feel strongly. I mean, I think that's probably clear. I have done my homework. I've been doing it for 3 years, and I know that there is no other solution. So it's like, are humans going to solve this problem in XRP as staying power, or are they not going to solve the problem? What do you think? And so, and so that's more on the fundamental side. But as far as the timing for all this and when people figure this out, I don't know. But I'm going to be here just talking about this every single day with rare exception, because it's fun. It's fun. I love tracking all this stuff here. I'm not kidding, man. Because it's neat. Not only do I think that the fundamentals will ultimately matter, but in the short term, while they don't, we're only seeing that because of the nascency of the asset class. What an exciting time to be here and to have found something that actually functionally has utility and couldn't have existed prior to cryptocurrencies existing, with the advent of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. It's astonishing stuff right here. And so that's why I'm thankful all the time that we have this here. And by the way, I did want to mention this too. So there's a word from Pfizer that's, there's the vaccine, and they're reporting that it works like 90% of the time. So hopefully that's true. People are talking about the price action that we've seen since that announcement, directly coming from that. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but I'll just say this: regardless of what happens with United States presidential elections and the vaccines, this or that, the pandemic, even if there's short-term price action, because humans do respond to things like that, I get it. And so even if that's true, and I'm not even making the claim that it is, but if it's true, it's not going to matter. It's not going to affect a damn thing in terms of the macro trend of what's going on here. It's not like one of those things is a factor and it just completely derails the way that people are looking at, just portfolio diversification. It's not going to change the big picture and long-term viability of just scarce digital assets. It does nothing to change that. Even if in the short term, fine, but that just goes back to what I'm always talking about, is people being lemmings and emotionally buying and selling. And I like that they do that, and I'm never going to do that. They're the reasons. All those people that are doing it, they're the reason that I believe that XRP will be worth substantially more. And so to me, that's useful. I'm just not going to behave like that, because that's how you get bit in the butt. Trying to time markets and emotionally buying and selling. That's my opinion. I think it's a bad idea, but I know people are going to do it, and I'm thankful for it. I'm just not. So there we are. Anyway, I guess I'll try a good place to wrap up, but would love to hear what you think in terms of price action and what your expectations are and anything you want to share on the topic, because I don't pretend to know everything, but this is the general way that I'm looking at all of this. And I think that the best days in terms of price action for XRP are still ahead of us, and we shall see. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.